While much of the rest of the world embraces a Labor Day, in the US, this Monday is like any other. America's workers, employers and political leaders have had a checkered history on labour issues, with public sympathy for the rights of workers often divided along party lines. Unionisation in the US was at its peak in the 1950s, yet data from the Bureau of Labour Statistics shows union membership has since fallen to its lowest share on record. Only 1 in 10 American workers is now in a union. The decline in union membership rates contradicts a recent trend. Unions are enjoying their highest approval ratings in the US in decades, and a president who's proclaimed himself as leading the most pro-union administration in American history. Still, the number of non-union jobs outpaced the growth of union membership last year. That's largely because the most traditionally unionised sectors, industries like manufacturing, transportation, construction, represent an ever-shrinking share of the workforce. And various changes by lawmakers have also made it harder for unions to grow. Dozens of states have approved right-to-work laws, giving them the authority to determine whether workers can be required to join a labour union in order to keep their job. Some politicians are pushing back in a bid to expand workers' rights. Senators Bernie Sanders and fellow progressive Democrat Elizabeth Warren are trying to advance a bill to tax companies extra if found guilty of pay disparity. CEOs at the largest publicly traded firms are typically paid hundreds of times more than their median employees. Many citizens, though, aren't waiting for legislation. They're taking action into their own hands. Around the country last year, staff at hundreds of Starbucks stores voted to unionise, and thousands of gig economy workers launched a series of high-profile unionisation drives. Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, to name a few. Momentum is reaching mainstream audiences. Comedian John Oliver, in a segment last month, exposed how so-called essential workers on farms are not treated as their title might suggest. Then, just days ago, a judge ordered Tesla to stop violating employee rights after supervisors were found to have breached labour laws by telling them not to discuss salaries and conditions. It may not be Workers' Day stateside on May 1st, that comes in 4 months, but workers here are still charged up. Benji, Hyer, CGTN, Washington, DC.